Our lesson tonight is how to be angry and sin not. You know, a lot of times we hear a lot of lessons on what we should do, and not a whole lot of ones on how to get it done. And maybe you're the kind of person that is really good about, if I know what needs to be done, then I can figure a way to do it. I'm not. I need to know how to do something. That's why I have YouTube on my phone. Just to find out how. Well, as Christians, we need to have a few lessons every once in a while on how to do things we know we're supposed to do. Turn to Ephesians, the 4th chapter, and verse 26. Ephesians 4. And when you get to there, you go down to verse 26. We'll do verses 26 and 27. Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, and give no opportunity to the devil. Now this tells us a few things about being angry. One, being angry in and of itself is not a sin. It's okay to get angry. Now, way too often our anger becomes an opportunity for the devil. Sometimes even if we don't hold it till after dark. Sometimes it jumps right out there. But anger is okay in and of itself. But the second thing we can learn is it's okay because you can be angry and not sin. And that's why we want to talk about. Now, the first thing that's obvious here is don't let the sun go down on your anger. Don't keep it. If you keep it, it will fester and get worse and worse. Some people will tell you, well, the way to be angry and not sin is to manage your anger, which means don't get angry. And you know what that's going to do? Sooner or later, after you've swallowed that anger and you've let that sun go down and it hasn't done, when you explode, it's going to be a nuclear explosion. So that's not the way to be angry and sin not. Now the easy answer is the answer to every single sin problem in the Christian life. Be led by the Holy Spirit and don't sin. It's that simple. Turn to Romans 8:13. Now we've done Romans 8:13 many, many times, so we're not going to do a really long thing on it. We're not going to do a long thing on how to become a Christian, how to get the Spirit, but we're just going to remind us that the Holy Spirit gives us the ability to overcome sin. For if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, you will live. If you're led by the Spirit, if you turn to the Spirit when temptation comes, you can overcome it. That's the easy thing. But the problem is, you've got to decide to use the Holy Spirit, and way too many times, the way anger works is before your brain gets in gear, your mouth, or sometimes even your fists go into action. There's no time to say, "What, Lord, I'm going to let you take care of this. Let your Spirit do it because my Spirit's angry. You handle this." Sometimes there isn't time. Because the way our brains are made, there's a little part back here that handles the fight and the flight. Well, that also handles anger. And it is hardwired into your nervous system. This part takes like 3 times as long to go. So when they say, you know, you did something before your mind got in gear, they're telling the absolute truth. That the temporal lobe is a little bit slower. So sometimes you sin before you even have a chance. How many times have you said something that you knew you ought not to say the minute it came out of your mouth? You were angry and sin happened. Well, how do we handle that? Well, it's real simple. You know yourself. You know what your hot buttons are. You know what upsets you. Now, yes, that person may know your hot buttons too. They may know how to upset you. But you know it too. So what you need to do is set up in your own mind warning signs. Before you get to the point where you're angry, set up those things so that before it happens, if you have somebody that upsets you, before they even open their mouth, start talking to God about it. Be prepared. That's the thing is, if we know ourselves, then we should be able to set up things before they happen so that we don't have a problem. It's like those, if you're in Boonville and you're coming from Littlefields, Stop and Rob, going out to 23, there is a hole in the road. And there is no sign. And when you hit it, bam! The cure to that is put a sign before it. You know yourself, set up a tripwire. Set up something that will warn you, an early warning system to go, oh, this is going to get bad. If you have a pet peeve, if they start talking about it, that's your warning sign. You start praying now. Don't wait till they cross the line. Allow God's Holy Spirit the time to do it. Now, I want to tell you another secret. And this is truly the practical thing. Ephesians tells us we're going to get angry. So accept that and try to figure out where anger turns into sin. Turn to Matthew let me see if I've got the right one. I think I have it down there right. Okay. Let's see if I can find the right scripture here. Well, we mentioned it before, the greatest commandment, to love God, and the second like it is to love your neighbor as yourself. Now, what do we learn from that? Where does the anger turn into sin? When anger is addressed to people. When you get angry at people. Well, here's a simple solution. Train yourself not to get angry with people, but to get angry at situations. Don't get mad at the person that stepped on your toe. Get mad at the pain in your toe. Get mad at the situation, because you know what? You can't fix people. You can't fix them. You get mad at somebody, you're not going to ever accomplish anything. But if you get mad at a situation, you can help fix that situation for the future. There's an organization called MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. There's an ING, not an ER.